Hmm. Good afternoon. I just had the best lunch, and I thought it was going to be. I felt like I was taking a chance, but it was really good. It was a fish taco salad. It was basically just blackened cod instead of using just pepper or whatever to blacken it. It had some type of Mexican seasoning or whatever on it, but it was with some nachos, some guacamole, a little bit of sour cream. That was good. That was good. Sometimes you just got to take a chance, right? But I'm out for my walk because I got to walk some of that off. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't crazy, but it was a healthy meal for the most part. The thought crossed my mind about self-responsibility. What self-responsibility is not really taking blame. A lot of people think, well, if I take responsibility, that means this is my fault. But that's not true at all. What self-responsibility in reality is taking power. See, if not, if you don't take self-responsibility, or you don't take self-responsibility, you're operating from a place of victimhood. In other words, things in my life are happening to me, and not because of me. We take self-responsibility. We recognize that things in our lives are happening because of us, either because of the way we think or because of some of the things that we do. That doesn't mean you have to take blame. Like if something bad happened in your life, unfortunately people do bad things to other people. But if something happened to you that was bad in your life, that's not your responsibility. But the way you conduct yourself anytime thereafter, that's your responsibility. What do I mean? We hear a lot of people say, well, I was abused and this is why I abuse other people. It's not your responsibility for being abused. It's not our responsibility for being abused. But it's our responsibility for not continuing that abuse. Another thing about life is that most of the things happen to us in our lives because of the way we think. Not so much the way we consciously think, but the way we subconsciously think. The phenomenon that I was watching a video about was they were testing people's reaction. And when they actually, say for instance, they saw a command that said pick up the ball, their subconscious mind actually registered the idea, their brain kicked in to register the idea to pick up the ball about 500 milliseconds before they consciously moved to pick up the ball. It's crazy because when you think about it in our lives, our subconscious mind is running so much faster than our conscious mind. And in order for us to recognize those thoughts is almost impossible. So when we take when we take self-responsibility, we take the responsibility to change that programming. And then we change the outcome. In the computer world, garbage in, garbage out. You know, basically you put bad data in and you get bad data out. Well, if you put good data in, if you put proper data in, you get the proper result. Tongue tied. You get the proper results out. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is this: make it your point, just like I typically try to do. Make it your point to take responsibility for your life, because responsibility isn't taking blame, but it's taking the initiative. Well, let's say it this way. The definition of the word responsibility is simply the ability to respond. And if you don't have the ability to respond to some negative stimuli in a way that serves you, in a way that makes your life better, then you're just repeating the past. You're repeating that cycle of abuse over and over again, and not towards somebody else, not just towards somebody else, but towards yourself also. Just give it some thought.